Morning, noon, or night, news, sports, or special projects. The name Nate Burleson is everywhere. An entertainment tour de force who's pivoted from game day to showtime in a way we've not seen before. On today's Beyond the Booth, Burleson details how one career has fed the other. The ever-talented Nate Burleson joining us here on CBS Sports HQ. Great to be with you always, my man.
Good to see you, man.
I mean, the breadth of work is as impressive as it is vast.
Thank you.
So many responsibilities nowadays, but this is the foundation. Have you ever take the time to just reflect on what football has brought to your life?
Oh, it means everything, and I think about it all of the time. I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in, and that's what I tell these young guys. I was just in Buffalo talking to the Bills. We were doing a profile on HBO and Hard Knocks. And what I was telling these guys is, regardless of what happens on the field, you can use sports as a vehicle to get to wherever you want to go. Whether you want to work in the finance space, you want to be a teacher, an artist, you can be the president of the United States if you want to. Football will help get you there because it's one of those few sports that will teach you how to navigate life, like being able to coexist with all these different people for one goal, regardless of your background and where you come from, how you look at life, your race, your culture, your religion. Football just brings you together. And every time I wake up, I think about the spaces that I'm in. Morning news, I approach it the same way. I'm just part of a team. NFL Slime Time, I approach it the same way. Doing Hollywood Squares with Drew Barrymore, and of course, what we're talking about now, CBS Sports and the NFL Today. We're all guys from a different place. And then when you think about the men and women behind the scenes, it's just one big squad, all trying to win, not a Lombardi, but an Emmy, and it will come this year. But yeah, I think about it a lot. I reflect on it. And that's why I could never walk away from football.
Yeah.
I love having the next chapter of my life being so fulfilled, but at the same time, even though I've been offered opportunities to walk away and do other things, I feel like I always need to be working in and around football somehow.
Having the tools is one thing, using them the way you have is another, and we're all very impressed by that. A decade or so ago, you're in a dark film room chewing on tape.
Yeah.
Now you're in a bright studio doing some of the same. How has the way you watched football evolved over the years?
Man, just more astutely. I want to be a guy that has a wealth of knowledge when I walk into the studio and prepare for a show. Even though I don't have a ton of time to unpack it, my worst fear is the ball, figuratively being passed to me and me not having anything to say, or just giving somebody something that they can go and Google on their own. For me, I want to make sure that I'm the most prepared I can be. As an athlete, I know what great looks like. I played with Randy Moss. I played with Calvin Johnson. I know what a man that God blessed with special attributes look like. I had to do a little bit more, which was be a big-time student of the game. So it's the same way now. I try to watch as much film as I can. And to be honest, I got to show some guys love. Boomer Esiason and Phil Simms, when I first got here, they embraced me. But not only that, they set the bar really high. Like, Phil is a maniac. We call him a sick pup for the sport. And I knew if I walked into the studio and I'm over here just keeping it real, BSing my way through a segment, my brother on the other side of the table, who's been watching film all week, he's not gonna look at me the same way. So yeah, I try to watch as much ball as I can so I can give the fans what they need. They wake up and they choose us. There's other places you can go. Think about, our competitors over at Fox. There's different pregame shows, ESPN, and of course, all of the streaming platforms and online platforms. People choose to watch us. That's a big deal. Yeah. That is a responsibility that we all don't take lightly.
It is something that we can sense in that crew that you share that air with, that team on each and every Sunday, bringing us the insight that does add to these games.
Yeah.
But so much of it is reacting to the unknown. The games they play out every year, a team, a player sort of surprises us. Last year, Washington is a year ahead of schedule. Give me some Nate Stradamus here. Who pops this year? Who's going to be the team that maybe surprises us?
I think Michael Penix in Atlanta is going to take a huge step. I thought coming out of college, he was the best passer in the draft. For a lefty, that guy just throws a pretty ball. I mean, one of the best fade balls in the business. If you're paying attention how tight his spiral is, and he has a ton of athletes that he can throw the ball to, I think he's going to have a really big-time leap now that they've given him the keys to the car. Russell Wilson, a guy that we've been talking about for a decade now, right? But he's been a little bit of a journeyman. Just think about the path that he's taken. I mean, at one point we were saying, oh, surefire Hall of Famer. I mean, this dude is MVP caliber every year. Super Bowl, they would have won another one if they gave the ball to Marshawn on the goal line. But let's see what happens in Denver. Doesn't work out. Let's see what happened in Pittsburgh. Doesn't work out. Now, in one of the greatest cities to play football, New York, playing for the Giants. And to be honest, as much as I love Russ, and people know that I'm going to stand for him, I'll be one of his biggest cheerleaders, but this could be one of his final stops as a starter in the league. So those are the two guys I'm pointing at, and I like to choose those guys because you have one very young dude at the beginning of his career, Michael Penix, and then Russell Wilson at the latter part of his career, but has an opportunity to really change the narrative of what people have seen him as over the last few.
I see there's still a little Seattle love on your heart.
You see that? I mean, I'm loyal. We're all kind of biased, right?
My Bears, they still got a little
a little bit of your heart, right? And shout out to Caleb Williams.
That's how it works.
There's been some ups and some downs, some mixed reviews on camp thus far. I'll tell you what, if Caleb Williams has issues or anybody else has issues with the Ben Johnson-led offense, which was a huge pickup for the Chicago Bears, it's going to be an indictment on not just Caleb, but the squad. What Ben Johnson was able to do with that Lions offense, there's no way with the talent they have on the Bears that they shouldn't find some success, at least on the offensive side of the ball.
Let's close on this because you used the word talent. And when I think Nate Burleson, I think talent.
Thanks, man. You too, brother. You do a great job.
Like faith without works, talent without energy is worthless. Where's the energy come from?
Man, to be honest, when I was in the league, I saw a lot of guys struggle when they left it. We fall in love with this game at a very young age. I remember writing a poem. It was titled Her. It was an acronym for His Everlasting Romance. And it was a love story. You know, this game I fell in love with. She was so good to me. She broke my heart at times. Those were the injuries and coaches telling me they wanted to cut me or release me. And the contract negotiations, that might have been us sleeping in separate beds. But the times where I scored touchdowns and signed big deals and I was able to get 60 or 70,000 people to rise to their feet after a big play, that's when the marriage was great and the love life was on fire. With all that said, though, there's guys that struggle when the sport of football, her, looks at him and says, we need to talk. I found somebody else. That happens to every player. We do not all walk away from this love life, this love affair we have with football on our own terms. And I saw guys struggle to fall in love with something else. So the energy, the passion, the enthusiasm, it's all real. Whenever you see me on TV and I'm smiling, it's real because I've seen guys struggle post-football. And here I am blessed to have many jobs. Some say, man, you work too much. I just say it's first world problems. So whenever you see me on your TV screen or pop up on your phone or tablet, this authentic energy comes from a place of gratitude.
Yeah. Authenticity in it all. Nate Burleson, appreciate you, pal. Wednesday on Beyond the Booth, we take it to the sidelines. A sit-down with the two-time Emmy Award-winning Tracy Wolfson as she details preparation for all the unknown.